These are the 5 worst mistakes I've made in my entire life. Well, maybe part of my life that I can remember of building wealth. As you can see in my background here, we have a little bit of an identity crisis. Got a little bit of sports bar shit going on, but also we have the content queen Den over there as well. But that's the magic. It's the feminine and masculine clashing. So anyway, 5 mistakes that I've made financially over the years. Mistake number 1, investing in options and trying to make it replace my income back in 2013. Back in 2013, I worked as a security guard at the coal yard for $13 an hour. Lots of 13s. It was the years of bad luck. So I was working there. I was working in the National Guard. And I remember I was messing with stock options and I was trying to make an income out of stocks. And I had fresh deployment money as well. So I had cash flow to do so. And I was like, if I apply this cash flow right, then I can replace my income and I'll be all right. Very, very good intentions there. But the thing is you can't time the market. If you keep gambling, eventually you're going to lose, in my opinion. Some people will tell you they trade stocks and do options and futures and whatnot. And I'm not trying to knock them if they're having a good time doing so. But for me personally, this isn't financial advice. But if it was financial advice, I'd be like, I'm not fucking with options. I'm not doing that, because when I'm doing options, I do not have the option to hold when the weather gets crazy, right? I do not have that option. I might have the leverage of more money, but time is not on my side. And the thing is, the reason why I've been successful over the years in investing, from my crypto portfolio, that's gone from, where was it, like 15K in 2021, then 2023, it's 57K. Or no, 2024, it's 57K. And then my main portfolio, like 2 years ago, it was 30K, and now it's 150K. That's because time was on my side. I never had to panic sell. I held when the storms are crazy. The storms are crazy back in April, and I still held onto my portfolio and added onto it. But if I was doing options and I was trying to time the market, then April might have came around. And even though I kind of thought the stocks were going to go down sometime this year, if it went down the wrong time, then I would have been screwed. Because when you do options, you got to sell at a certain time and it expires and you can lose all your money. Or you can lose more than all your money. It's crazy. I lost about $15,000 when $15,000 is a lot now, but it was really a lot back then. Number 2, investing too much into masterminds and retreats for one single year back in 2015. I was not honoring my financial boundaries when I started coaching. Point blank, period. So when someone offered a mastermind, I was almost investing to prove myself to being a valid business owner, so to speak. Or, I was kind of delusional. Back then, I thought I was going to be making 25K months within a few months after quitting my job. It was just rushing things. And what you will notice on your journey is that you might not be able to accomplish lofty goals that you create within a month's time. Like, I'm going to quantum leap within a month and somehow change my income from 5K a month to 25K a month, even though I don't have experience. Like, that might be putting way too much stress on your system, and you might be investing yourself too thin. But if you tell yourself, like, hey, I'm going to get to 25K months in 5 years, or I'm going to get my net worth up to over 100,000 in 5 years, that's a bit more reasonable. And you think differently when you give yourself the grace and time for a long-term strategy and growth. Look, I've been in the coaching industry for 12 plus years, and I've seen people quantum leap. I've seen people come and go. I've seen people rise up to the top and burn out just as quickly. So quantum leaping is not necessarily always the thing that you want. You got to think of, do I want to stay in this game 10 years later? Do I want consistent growth? Do I want to keep growing? Do I want to build a foundation so when there are storms, like there are in any industry, including stocks when I'm investing in stocks, there's always storms. Do you want to have the fortitude to be able to stick through that? And if you're just quantum leaping and just looking at short term, you're not going to have the fortitude or the long-term mentality to be able to stick through that. So I did too much in 2015. And then I started throwing every coach I could find money. And it became less of a smart investment and more of an emotional investment, trying to speed up time when there was actually a plan for me. And it might even slow down my plan by trying to do too much in 2015, but I lived to see the day. So number 3, this one might surprise people, but becoming a homeowner too soon twice, including this home. Yes, even becoming a homeowner now costs me wealth. It has cost me wealth. Now, I love this home. It's a beautiful home. Yes, I love the home. Beautiful home. Love it. And it's not meant to be negative about home ownership, right? But the thing is we live a freedom lifestyle, and we're in a stage of life where we're able to rent. We're probably able to rent our whole lives. Renting for 2 entrepreneurs, when we're locked into our zone of genius, it may be less to manage a home. So there's all that come into factor. But if you really add things up, we have about $600,000 in net worth right now. We'd probably be over $1 million in net worth if we weren't paying the bank. If we weren't paying the bank, if we weren't paying insurance, if we weren't paying the property taxes and the rent was half or whatever, there'd be more wealth. And I think I'm kind of like that person. The way that I think is like, okay, is our spending, could there be fat trimmed in certain areas? Now, with all that being said, home ownership, Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad, Poor Dad said something great. And a lot of people go around in life thinking that home ownership is an investment. It is not an investment, not your primary home. Investing in real estate is an investment, but your primary home is your primary home. And another thing that the grown folks might tell you over and over again is if you're renting, you're just throwing out money. Not true. I mean, what about the repairs, the hidden cost of owning a home? It's going to cost a lot of money. In short term, it's not an investment that you're really leveraging, because the first 5 years, most of the money that you're paying is going to the bank. It's going to insurance. It's going to taxes. So long term, will this home end up being a net positive investment? Yes. Long term, though, if we look back, could more wealth have been built through stocks and things of that nature? Probably so, but you're not defined about a neutral investment, so to speak. And I call it neutral because I don't consider a home bad debt. I don't consider it bad debt, but you can't confuse it with an investment portfolio. You're moving the home that you're moving your family into is not your investment portfolio. And yes, you may build wealth over time over the next 30 years, but that growth compared to growth stock or crypto or anything like that, it pales in comparison, so to speak. Number 4, getting trading advice for crypto and stocks and wasting time trying to gamble short term. Now, if you look over this past half decade, I did very well in investing, and most of my main primary moves were good. But the minor mistakes that I made is I would follow a trading account that would basically short-term stock trading or FOMO trading. I remember there was this like astrology girl, and she's like, yes, the guides, I don't know, she didn't really say it this way, but the guides are telling me that you need to put your money into Decentraland and it's going to the moon because the metaverse is everything right now. This is back in 2021. Now, obviously, I didn't FOMO into Decentraland and put all my money into that. However, I did put like $500 into it, and all the $500 is gone. It's gone. It just went poof. Who's talking about the metaverse right now? Maybe we'll walk into the metaverse in the next 5 years. I don't know. But don't get mesmerized on silly trends that people are pushing you into. Do your research. Invest in good companies. Don't just follow some astrology person and then them telling you the stars are telling you to invest in metaverse, and then all of a sudden no one's doing the metaverse. Or what else were they doing? The not the EFTs. That EFTs are good. The freaking pieces of art, the digital art. I'll remember after I do this video, but that went to shit. So I was lucky in 2021 that my investments that went to total shit, I knew in my mind they were gambles and they were more speculative, and I put very little of my income into that when putting more of my income to more sustainable stocks and Bitcoin. But even Bitcoin, like Bitcoin is considered to me as speculative as well. Like, I don't think you should build your whole entire identity off of Bitcoin. That could go to zero. Anything could go to zero, but Bitcoin is still speculative. We're still speculating that's going to be the currency that's decentralized. Good for you if you make a lot of money doing it. I made a lot of money doing it, and I'm reasonably keeping it as a percentage of my portfolio that if it did go the other way, I wouldn't be eating out of cans of beans and shit. Like, come on, don't put all your investments into one basket. Don't put all your free-range eggs and pasture-raised eggs into one basket. Spread them out a little bit. That's a bonus. Number 5, focusing too much on abundant thinking rather than sticking to the fundamentals. Militarizing the money mindset. Getting too specific with lofty goals that only stress me out. Expecting too much too soon. So here's the thing. Something that held me back from wealth is getting too lost in the sauce with manifesting thinking. And I'm all about money psychology, manifestation. If you want to do a vision board, that's cool. But stop putting money on this weird fucking pedestal that having $1 million is going to be so much different than it is now. Yes, it's going to be different. It's going to give you more access to things, and it's going to better your life in ways, hopefully. But it's not like you're stepping into... Like, I think when people think about quantum leaps or saying it's like, what would you smell like if you had $1 million? Would your fucking million, that's my wife laughing in the background. What would your how would your $1 million self walk? How would you chew your food? Would $1 million you wear a fucking t-shirt and gym shorts? Well, fucking yeah. Yeah. I would. I would not be putting on a fucking suit just because I have an extra $1 million. I'm going to dress the fucking same. I'm going to dress like a bum. I don't give a shit. But it's people pedestalize it so much, and what that subconsciously says is that you're not worthy of it. You're ironically doing money mindset work to make yourself feel worthy and say some bullshit affirmations in the mirror, but really you're just reaffirming that you don't have enough, your life isn't enough, and you're making money seem more complex than it needs to be. Like, some people will be like, oh, you got to be in the energy all the time. Or you could just fucking market and provide value and actually sell in your business. That could help. Or you could actually learn about good stocks to invest in. That could help you make more money. Or, maybe you can just say, just be happy all the time. What makes you happy is buying a 18-inch pizza. Does that make you happy? Yeah, that's going to get you in the vibration of wealth, and just be happy. And somehow the money is just going to fly through your air conditioning vents, and you won't have to work. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, people get too mystical and complex with money, thinking there's these like imaginary money blocks and shit like that. You don't have money blocks. You're just being over complex with it, and then you're paralyzing yourself from being able to take action. So those are the wealth mistakes that I've made in my past. And I would say I've also made many good decisions that I'll add on to this here YouTube channel very soon. Don't tap the like button. Make sure you smash the like button, okay? Because when you smash the like button, it makes the algorithm know that you really like me. Subscribe to this channel and help me get to 11 subscribers by next year. Just kidding. Peace.